Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Today we have a great agenda. I hope you enjoyed it. And the agenda today is that we go through the main pillars, the main five pillars of KetoNtrack, explain why these can be the foundation of your transformation and how they can help you get back on track. And at the end, we also have some pretty interesting, I think you'll find, offers and giveaways. So let's get directly into it. So first of all, for those who are new to Get on Track, um, I would like to welcome all of you and also explain who this live is for. It is for everyone actually. So everyone who wants to learn what benefits can a ketogenic diet bring, the benefits of fasting, anyone who's interested in nutrition, a nutrition dense diet, and anyone who wants to have and follow and be healthy. Anyone who is uh, interested in avoiding yo-yo diets or who had many of yo-yo diets who have failed, so lost the kilos, gained back the kilos, you will be quite interested in why the root cause of this may be. And of course, for anyone who wants to avoid losing time, right? So time is critical here, and there are many people on the internet who give a lot of information, and you may have the thinking that you want to kind of figure out this yourself, and that keto is not so difficult, which it is not in principle. But KetoNtrack has the experience. We have coached many people, and we can help you, and you'll see how to not get lost into the huge piles of information that is out there. So we'll coach you directly to the things that a lot of our customers have gained benefits from. And of course, the most important is that this meeting is for you if you want to learn how to improve your energy, your focus, and your overall wellness. Right. So, with that said, I have prepared a few slides, so we'll go through them together just to make the discussion a bit more interesting. Feel free to post your questions, uh, anything that you may have in your mind. I'll try to follow this and reply directly. Okay. So, but first of all, what is the story of KetoNtrack, right? So, who are we, and why do we? What we have to say is actually interesting. So, myself, my name is Panagiotis Kotas, and I have had my own journey for a few years now. So I've been doing keto and fasting for around 6, 7 years. And I have been following the space since then, since I had my own personal health nutritional issues. And since I figured out that there is a lot of misinformation about the best ways that someone can lead their life and lead a healthy and proactive and productive life. So KetoNtrack now exists for since 2019, and the idea of helping, sharing the right information, and getting people back on track has grown from an idea to a program, which we'll share with you. A program that is designed to address and help everyone, everyone who is committed and who wants to take that first step and not rush into things, but make them right and create habits which last for a lifetime. If you have any questions about Get on Track, just post them, and I'll also put some links with a bit more of the information. Okay, so now let me switch a bit the visual. So what is the program of KetoNtrack? So what do we stand for? So first of all, we want to get everyone back on track, and getting everyone back on track for us means focusing um, from a standpoint of view, not only from coaching, but from a program perspective, in five key pillars, right? So, and those key pillars are nutritional and keto. This is where we start from, and we have uh, three particular programs we'll go through today around nutrition and keto, and why is this important as a first step to transform yourself. Then we have fasting, which is, for my part, at least I stand behind it. This is my sort of superpower, if you may. I do fasting every day, but then also sleep and stress are key aspects for anyone to transform their health. Then biohacking, what we call in KetoNtrack connecting with nature. And last but not least, fitness. So fitness is part of all our programs, depending on your level and your needs and what you're willing and able to do. So these five pillars we have broken down into five different series. Each of these series lasts for 6 weeks, and so going through the program can be up to 30 weeks, depending on your needs. And let's go directly into it, if we may. Right. So why is nutrition and keto important, and as a first step? So and fasting in the same mindset. So because there was an old paradigm, right? And that paradigm was saying that we need to have 5 meals a day. I think we've all heard of that, in order to keep our metabolism going, in order to have it elevated, technically elevated, so we don't have hypoglycemia. Maybe another thing that you've heard is, by having 5 meals a day, we can keep little amounts per meal, and that everything is around calories in and calories out. Okay, and for that as well, the follow up usually suggestion is that we need to eat plenty of carbs, rice, and maybe lean protein such as chicken, right? So avoid fat at all cost if you want to maintain your health. However, the outcome, and I think this is well proven, the last 20, 30 years, with many studies, but also with statistics, is that we have ended up with a very broken metabolism. And this is a worldwide, I would say, epidemic, which at its core is insulin resistance. So, insulin resistance uh, is a situation which we'll discuss a bit further in a sec, whereby you produce too much insulin and your body is not responding to that insulin. And as a result, we have uh, weight gains and weight regains. If you have been struggling, if you have lost some kilos by following very low calorie diets or very low fat diets, maybe you have lost it, but then you always regain your kilos or even more. And that's pure hormone reactions. It's no magic, although a lot of people unfortunately are struggling with it. Another area of a broken metabolism is actually having a very low metabolism. So you are struggling constantly with low calorie diets to lose weight. So you lose some 4 or 5 kilos, which is mainly water, and then you're just stuck. And because the body is going into a crisis mode. So you're not feeding it with what it needs, and it's reserving, or it's closing down all its reserves, and it's just simply impossible to lose kilos. And last but not least, we're having a lot of deficiencies by following low calorie diets, low fat diets. Then your metabolism is totally broken because of deficiencies, either that is any of the B complex vitamins, B12, or minerals, magnesium, zinc. It could be anything really, which manifests itself into falling hair, broken nails, just bad skin health, energy, and focus. So that's actually the old paradigm which we need to fix. And this is not any, let's say, black magic, uh, because what we actually need, first of all, just to bring it a bit closer to our Nutrition One series, is that we need to balance um, the fasting state and the feasting state. So we need to balance between anabolism and catabolism. And that is actually the state where when we eat, we obviously grow. And when we do not eat, we use that period to clean and recycle old proteins or old cells that our body actually does not need. So I always use a very good example, which is your drawer. So when it actually gets full with clothes, you keep buying, buying, buying. Then at some point you will clean it up, right? So you take the old clothes, the ones that are or worn away, and then you will just put them away, make some space for new clothes to come in. And it's exactly the same for our body. So the body has hormones which work and are activated only when we have um, or we give it the proper rest and time without food. And these are actually hormones that are triggered in an energy deficient state. So, energy meaning that we're not eating at that particular time. And however, this is a very uncommon situation. Most of us are eating first thing when we wake up, a good breakfast, because it's the most important meal of the day, right? And also probably we're snacking while we're watching our late night movie, and we don't give really any opportunity to our body to create those hormones uh, to bring itself in homeostasis. And homeostasis, uh, as the little diagram on the left shows, although I'll not go into too much details, is the aim or the goal that we want to bring our body into. And there are plenty of hormones and processes and pathways which all serve their purposes, and we need to respect them, trigger them, and use them to our benefit. And this is what Nutrition Series 1 is all about. So let's go into that a bit more in detail. So, our Nutrition Series 1, which I think is one of the greatest series um, that we have in our toolset, is 6 weeks long. And each of these series or each of these weeks is focusing on a specific objective. Each objective uh, tries to establish a new habit, while we also have challenges uh, which we want to achieve in order to make it more interesting throughout those 6 weeks. What is the goal of this series is to clean up. So start with really basic, easy stuff like hydrate properly, remove snacking, start with intermittent fasting, remove processed food that are full of toxins and do not serve any purpose, and start fixing our metabolism. Start addressing being able to tap into our fat stores, and start having more energy uh, just by pure balancing the hormones like leptin, insulin, and ghrelin, which are our satiety, hunger hormones, and fat storing hormones. And once we are ready at that, at the conclusion of the 6 weeks, all our clients, I would say, not most, but all, usually are very comfortable in starting an 18 or 16 to 8 fasting window, which is a period of 16 hours not eating and eating all your calories, not less calories, but all your calories that your body needs in an 8-hour window, usually in a 3 meal protocol. So the goal of the series is to have more energy, to start losing kilos in a very safe and effortless way, if that's what your goal is. And it doesn't necessarily need to be a goal, but usually I find that even if you don't want to lose kilos, if some of our clients did not have this as a goal, uh, it came about because just you go into this fat burning mode with fasting, that really losing kilos is effortless, right? So, and together with that energy, we uh, we have more energy because we stabilize our blood glucose, and this by definition improves our focus, our cognitive function. We just feel we have a hope, if you may, um, faster, and we can be and we are more productive throughout the day. And the principles here we follow, and these are throughout our program, is first of all step by step. So I had quite a few clients which um, or struggling maybe with the pace. So even though it's a 6 weeks program, if you feel or if anyone feels that maybe it's either we're going too fast or too slow. So uh, for example, snacking, people say, yeah, but I'm not really snacking. But then when they're going into even on the second week, they realize that actually they're snacking probably all the time. And if we need to work on that, then we work on this habit a bit more. So always step by step, with the pace that you want, and in a tailor-made program that is, even if we're following these general principles and guidelines, really a tailor-made program for every one of you. And what we do have is weekly face-to-face or online meetings. uh, this is a key part of our tool set where we discuss, we open up, we get to know each other, and at the end we create a program that is suited for particularly you, right? So for what serves you best. Um, and the other tools that we use is very simply in this series: journal, a lot of documents and content that we have prepared. So every week there is specific content for this particular objective that we want to achieve, and we use our as our calorie tracking tool, chronometer. uh, Not really tracking our calories per se, but more tracking our nutrition. Because as part of this 6 weeks, there will be a lot of self-learning of really how much nutrition or micronutrients are you really getting, or were you getting, and throughout the 6 weeks, your nutritional profile will probably completely change, and you will be surprised how tracking what you eat actually is an eye opener. So we come to 6 weeks. What is next? Right. So next is having an understanding that cleaning up all with fasting and a 16-8 protocol, all the old habits, if I may say, and cleaning up our diet, our nutrition, removing processed foods, reducing, again, things that do not serve us, like wheat, refined flours, and these kind of things, um, we're actually addressing a very, very critical problem, which is the what I call energy problem. A problem whereby we're eating too many foods that do not serve us any real purpose, right? So we're eating foods that are very high in the glycemic index, so they raise our blood sugars, they raise our insulin too high. But on the other hand, their nutritional profile is such that we never get satiated. So we always keep eating, and we don't get the nutrients we need, which is a big problem. But also, we have such a spike in insulin and glucose, which once the after a couple of hours, hopefully, if you're relatively healthy, the glucose comes down, then you actually feel that you need to eat again, because these spikes they cause a serious energy problem. So your body has used up the energy, which is mostly because of excessive carbs, and then it has probably not used them because maybe because of this spike you're not really exercising or doing something active. Maybe you're just sitting in front of the laptop or watching TV, and this triggers hunger. And then in a couple of hours, 2, 3 hours later, you want a little snack or you want something sweet just to keep that hypoglycemic effect away. And doing this over and over again and repeating this cycle of spikes throughout the day with 5 meals a day, maybe snacks and meals, uh, at the end is what is causing insulin resistance and the metabolic inflexibility that we talked about before. So we should have already in the nutrition series one fixed some of this with fasting and controlled a bit our blood sugars. But we want to take it to the next level, right? And we want really to look now very closer into what food serves us best, what is the most nutritional dense profile food, foods that do not raise insulin, do not raise our blood glucose, and keep us energetic and with great mood throughout the day. And uh, is that is keto. And in a ketogenic diet, what we see is that we have constant uh, glucose throughout the day, but we also produce ketones, and those ketones, which are a byproduct either by the fat we eat or the fat we burn, which we have on us. These ketones are a far superior fuel from carbs. And carbs, you need to remember that they're non-essential. So there is essential amino acids, there are essential fatty acids, but there are no essential carbs. The body can actually produce carbs as if and when it needs from protein and even from fat through um, different and various processes like gluconeogenesis. And I'm not saying here that carbs are per se a problem, but we'll discuss this in a sec. So in this second series, we're really deep diving into the science. We're looking into various different things. First of all, you will experience what is to be in ketosis, and I will say that this will be a great, great and open-minding experiences, because you will have unbelievable energy because of fasting and because of the nutritional dense diet that we will have. And when we're saying ketogenic diet, don't imagine unbelievable amounts of food or fat in this case. Um, think about it at least how in ketOntrack we have implemented it in a way of eating fish, salmon, olive oil, olives, whole food, and that's about it. Right. So implementing it in a healthy way makes all the difference. And healthy means for us having all your macros every single day, and macros is more important than macros. So although if you are familiar with the ketogenic diet, you hear that you need to have 75% fat and 20% protein and 5% carbs. And as a general rule, maybe this is okay, but then it's more important on a daily basis to keep your macros in check. And depending on your status, what you really need or where you are in your journey, then this can be tweaked and adjusted, and always with food that you enjoy. So there is no point in you eating something that you really, after the program finishes, then you'll just drop and you'll go back into old habits. So KetoNtrack stands about creating habits, and then you're the one creating the habits that suit best for you and your lifestyle. That's really important. Now, the other things that we investigate in this series, apart from keto, and this is a continuous journey. So every week we we have some challenges and some new content around what serves best on a ketogenic diet from a fat perspective, but then also from an anti-nutrient perspective, what are the foods that even on a low carb diet maybe do not serve us best, and depending again on if you're on your sensitivities or one person sensitivities, maybe certain foods uh, um, cause some reactions, either that is digestive problems or skin problems or rashes, whatever they may be. Then we need to have awareness of what foods may cause what problems. And this is something we investigate quite in depth, while we're also looking at the power of knowing our genetics. So genetics is, or epigenetics, uh, is a critical path to health, because even though we might have some shortcomings in our genes and we have some mutations which we need to be aware of, the establishing being aware of those and establishing good habits to avoid certain genes being expressed in a bad way, then it is super critical. So we need to know, and we're working and we're affiliated with a company called Self Decode, which is providing a complete profile of genetics and reports where you can interpret it with together with us, and we can investigate how to make certain lifestyle changes to health potential shortcomings of certain genes. For example, MTHFR, it's a critical one which we look in detail, and this is think a aspect of lifestyle that people tend to ignore, right? So for me, for example, I need to have extra folate on every single day, because I have a certain mutation on some of my genes. I don't process so well folate, and this is something I was not aware until I started looking into my genetics. Um, on at the same time, while we're doing ketosis, and it's quite important to know your level of ketones first of all, and it's quite important to know your level of glucose on a daily basis. So and we also go further in depth in that in nutritional series 3, but glucose particularly, so many people do have higher level of glucose than actually it serves them best. A normal range would be around from 70 to 90 mg per deciliter, um, and a lot of people don't realize that they're constantly over 100, or even on a pre-diabetic state. And this is very simple to fix, very easy to fix, by following a ketogenic diet if you are actually monitoring on a daily basis and you can adjust and tweak in an appropriate way. Obviously, knowing that you're in ketosis is a great little success factor, and producing ketones and seeing that actually you're utilizing them correctly and that you get the benefits of this extra energy boost. And with that, what I use on a daily basis is Ketomojo, which is a great little device which helps with in an easy way monitoring both your glucose and ketone levels. In that direction, we're also going quite a lot in detail in what is the best blood markers that one may have or may want to have, and what is a panel that is proposed to have a closer look into um, as we want to benchmark and track our overall wellness and progress so far. Of course, we're also extending throughout the 6 weeks our fasting windows because I believe fasting is a super great tool and it really is the basis of becoming metabolically flexible. So we will more as an experience even try out 1 meal a day and see if that fits your lifestyle or maybe not, and how you actually perceive or how your mind better perceives really that change from going from 3 meals a day to 2 meals a day and then 1 meal a day. And of course, although I don't think it's critical for most people, we will be discussing supplementation, but I also preempt everyone that I think in most cases we can actually get all the nutrition we want in a complete way by whole foods. Because supplements sometimes people think they can get a pill and it just works out of the box, and this is really not the case because nutrition works all together. So you cannot really isolate nutrients by themselves, right? So we also have a question, so I can also take a little break here from the normal sequence. So how fast will I get into ketosis after starting the program? Um, so I think getting into ketosis is really not the the end be all goal. But usually, with how the program is set up, usually from already the start of nutrition series 2, so in the sixth or seventh week, people get in already in ketosis. Uh, the other interesting fact here is to note is that at that point, people, most people will actually overproduce ketones. So there were a lot of success stories or and good feelings, which is very positive, of course, that people produce maybe 1 or 2 or even 3 milligrams per deciliter of ketones. And however, this does not necessarily mean fat adaptation, right? So we're doing fasting, we're doing a low carb diet, but then it takes time for the body to really be fat adapted, which means that the liver produces ketones and then the cells are actually have switched their gear to utilize those ketones and not waste them away. First of all, because that could be another factor, but also be able to absorb them and use them efficiently for energy. So as you go really you become fat adapted, and I would say that's probably after 12 weeks, then you will see your ketone levels coming down. Um, Hello, Ziva. Would you recommend OMAD for women? Consider more complex hormone changes throughout the month? Um, I'll answer that in a sec because this is a very critical point that we look into Nutrition Series 3. Overall, I would say yes and no, and depends on the individual. But then let me just move to the next slide and we can discuss it a bit more in detail. Or I'll get directly into it actually. Just um, so in nutrition series 3, so we've finished hopefully with fasting. We're super adapted with doing 16 8. This should be the basis usually, but even trying one meal a day. We're doing a low carb diet. We have become aware of anti-nutrients, of our genetics, and we're really super energetic, super positive, but there is also a fear and a risk that we take it again too far because we started from a phase where potentially most people maybe were metabolically inflexible because of increased consumption of processed foods, of refined foods, of too much carbs. But we don't want to take it to the other extreme where we become metabolically inflexible because we're only feeding ourselves fat. Not that it's bad, but that's the other extreme, and we need to find a balance point. And we need to realize that fasting is a stressor, exercise is a stressor, um, keto is also a stressor. So we need to be very, very balanced here. And we need to balance, and this is the scope of Nutritional Series 3, of balancing our hormones and our gut. So let me come to the question now about the hormones. What we First of all, I think trying it out and experiencing it is a very positive thing. So yes, I think everyone should try out OMAD, but including it in your lifestyle, I would say that especially women, uh, they might not benefit 100% from that. So what we recommend is, depending on your cycle, that you follow a different um, feasting or fasting windows depending on that day. So if you're in your cycle of 14 to 21 days where you're producing progesterone and you want to actually produce a healthy peak of progesterone, then you can include a bit more carbs, and you don't really need to go in one meal a day. But that's again depending on the person. If you see, so I think you need to be very aware of what your body needs, and also aware that, for example, having a bit more carbs does not mean that we go into having 200 carbs and sweets and cakes, etc. Right? So you can satisfy the need of your body in terms of progesterone by, for example, having 50, 100, maybe 150 grams of carbs, healthy carbs like zucchini, maybe squash. So there all these lifestyle introductions, or carb recycling, as I call it, that we investigate in Nutrition Series 3, to keep your hormones in check. And we're not only looking at sex hormones, although this is a key part. We're also looking at our thyroid. Very important that we keep our thyroid healthy. And I would say that that's one key reason why we're not calling this a diet. So for sure, we don't want to reduce our calories, because this will down regulate our thyroid function. And we want to actually lose our weight because of fasting, and because of not triggering too much insulin, which is our fat storing hormone. And all this is, we deep dive really a lot into it in Nutrition Series 3. Um, oh, sorry for that. I hope some people have connection problems. I hope it resolves itself. But in any case, this will be live. You can watch it also later on, and you can reach out to me at any point in time. So the other part of which is very important to mention, is the balance of our gut. And I will not say I'm an expert because no one is, and no one really knows from a research standpoint of view what is the best to have a healthy microbiome. So our gut is very sensitive. Anything we eat or we don't eat actually has a positive or a negative impact on our gut. And this directly, I think it's well established that it's our second brain and directly impacts everything that's going on in our body, right? So our gut is the way where our nutrients are going into our bloodstream. And if we're eating the wrong foods, foods that do not serve us best, and that's very individual for everyone, then we can have a lot of problems. SIBO, for example, very usual, and we have and this can manifest itself actually to a lot of autoimmune issues. So our gut, we need to respect it, we need to treat it like gold, and we need to have the right balance. And if you're going to the extreme of being in ketosis, never ever having carbs, even though you feel great, um, I would say if the next time you try to eat some rice and then you get bloated and you cannot actually tolerate it and you feel very bad for the next day, I think that's not as well healthy. So we need to have the right microbes, the right microbiome and balance of the microbiome. Um, and that we can do with a healthy, balanced diet, still low carb, but we need to investigate um, how to bring that balance about. Um, so, for how long would I recommend staying on OMAD? I think, as with any stressor, so and we have to realize that fasting is a stressor in our body. So we want to make the best out of it. So we want to keep our body guessing. And when we read, there is also memory. So when if we keep a specific window of eating, so every time we eat, for example, our first meal at 12, if you skip lunch or you're doing something else, your body will probably remind you that at 12 you need to eat. And we need to keep our body, first of all, guessing. So we need to switch it up. Second, I think we need to respect what our body is saying. And if sometimes we feel that we're hungry, then we should eat. There is no need to doing one meal a day if you really feel stressed about it or feel pressure. So I think listen to your body, but I would say for me, doing OMAD would be at least what I personally try to do is do it once or twice a week. Right. So my usual meal plan is two times. On days I even exercise very strongly uh, because I'm focusing on also muscle protein synthesis, and maybe I even in the same window have three meals a day. And then a couple of days where I'm not exercising, then I do one meal a day. Um, Sorry, everyone. Um, should be recording still. Um, yeah. Uh, Ziva, I don't know why this has happened. Actually, I apologize for that. Um, yeah. Let me see if I can stop the sharing and then I'll restart it. Just give me a sec. Maybe this works. So apologies for that. the wonders of doing a live here. Um, can you? Is it better now? Okay. I'll. In any case, I hope you can still hear me. Let me keep going. Okay, and we give it a few minutes maybe. I'm happy also to do an Instagram live maybe tomorrow, and as well clarify any questions. Happy to do that if you guys want. Okay, but in any case, let me continue as well. Uh, so I think we delve quite a lot into the details. So nutrition series three, and it's for me all about balance, balancing our gut, our hormones, our microbiome, and by that way ensuring that we have a strong immune system. And the tools to do that is yes, correct. So this should be once the live stops, then it should be really visible to everyone. So then we should really use as a tool consistency first of all, and carb cycling. So this is now the third series, so the conclusion of our nutritional series, um, whereby we want, or from our side as a KetoNtrack, we want to give you all the tools that and ensure that you have the knowledge and the self-confidence and the support that once the series finishes, then you have everything you need to make those learnings a habit. Um, so the this, and apologies again. We seem to have some technical difficulties. So the um, the 6 weeks are actually broken down into again focusing on healing your gut, hormone balance. We'll be doing a 3-day fast, which for me is very exciting. We usually do it as a group. And we guide everyone through it, and everyone is surprised how easy it can be, and how many benefits you get once you finish that 3-day fast. We introduced carb cycling, and I'm pretty proud actually in the way we do that, because we take the really the scientific approach, and we use a CGM, so a continuous glucose monitor. We have a complete protocol where we review everything that is we eat. And review is not the right word. We monitor our the glycemic impact of the foods we eat. We choose, and the intention here is to choose foods that serves us best. Again, that we can digest, that they don't spike our insulin or glucose too much, and have the best nutritional profile. So really, we investigate that in a lot of in detail and in depth, um, and also to ensure that, especially important, that we do not have that rebound effect of kilos after we finish the program, because this is quite a usual situation if you're not careful. and both with your habits, but also in what carbs you introduce. And in this case, we also investigate in what are the best habits, how can you address on cheat days, and what is really the best way to lead our life, to lead a healthy life uh, without really worrying about um, making bad choices. So this really is a long journey, 18 weeks. If we go with a full pace, so for most people, actually it takes a few weeks more. And but this is not the end of the journey. So starting with, as I said, that we have 5 pillars, and these are only two of the 5 pillars that we're trying to address. And mostly here we're trying to address pers- uh, particularly two big hormones. If you really uh, boil down to the nitty gritty, which is insulin and leptin, and these are the main hormones that will actually drive all the others as well, and bring them into balance, and we see all the benefits in life that we're looking for. So as part of our little discussion here, presentation, we're not gonna go through too much in detail into the other two series. So we have our sleep series and our biohacking series, which are equally very important. Uh, but we don't spend too much time on them as with nutrition, because I think most people, first of all, expect more than input on nutrition. Um, but sleep series, or for me, super important, because everyone is, although we are aware, we're treating sleep as something that is granted or even not required. So we will sleep at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. We'll watch movies mostly in the evening, and whereby we're not really respecting our circadian rhythm. And that circadian rhythm is our internal little clocks where it signals at which point in the time certain functions in our body take place, and these are actually all during the night. So if we sleep at 12, 2 o'clock in the night, and then we're really losing that window of repair and healing and regenerating and being creative even, uh, because we don't give our opportunity to the body to go through these processes. To say it in another way, um, our body needs sleep. Our body really needs proper quality sleep. And for that, we need to ensure that we give it the right, again, tools to be full of energy. And more usually, the morning is the phase where we're most productive, and the good sleep starts from the morning, and we wake up, we have the right mood, the right energy, and getting some sun is very important, and actually it wakes us up, it gives us the right cues to start the day. And in the same way, when we want to sleep again, we lower light, and we give the right cues to our body to start relaxing. So we need to manage stress, we need to lower our heart rate, and have a proper environment which allows us to relax, and go into a normal deep sleep phase, which usually happens in the first part of our sleeping window, which is the healing and regenerating part of the phase. And in the second usually phase of sleep, you see the REM sleep, which are rapid eye movement sleep, where you it's associated with dreams, but also it's associated with um, creativity, and with consolidation of memory. So all the events of the previous day are actually consolidated and stored for later use. So there a lot of science coming out now, and just we're really learning about sleep only in the last 10, 20 years, to be honest. But on the other hand, I would say that sleep, it should not come to a surprise that how important sleep is, because sleep is the single probably habit that has survived for millenniums of years, right? So even species that or in danger of getting attacked or being eaten uh, have kept sleep as part of their daily routine, right? So um, we're uh, we're not in a position, I think, to challenge the need for sleep. And in the same token, as we need to respect our sleep, we also need to respect nature, and we need to respect the connection that I think, unfortunately, most of us have lost with nature, and that is being outside, getting proper light, uh, being part of the elements of nature. So don't being afraid of being in the cold or in the hot, um, and really looking to smell or breathe fresh air, and to be grounded as much as we can. So all these are techniques, simple techniques, either that we which for me most of them are free, but so they don't come with expensive tools, although they can you can actually have expensive tools that come with what we call biohacking. But biohacking at the end is hacking your performance or hacking your environment in order to boost and enhance your performance. And in this case, connecting with nature is probably the biggest hack that you can do for your health and your longevity. And you will learn all the techniques and how best to connect with nature, either at home, at the benefit of your home, or really outside um, when um, well when it's possible, depending on your lifestyle. Again, these two series are 6 weeks long, uh, and we go through all of the steps in a similar manner as with the nutrition series. This doesn't really change our overall structure. So, going through all the series, I hope you have a better insight of really what we stand for and how we believe we can help anyone who wants, in a proactive, not so much in a reactive, but in a proactive way, to become healthy and feel really good about life, and achieve everything that one wants. This is really our goal. Share good practices, help you achieve what you want in life, and get yourself back on track. And so, why is KetoNtrack the right team? So, first of all, we have a growing community, which is really important, because a community shares experiences and can support any bumps that one is for sure gonna face during such a big journey. We'll give you all the right tools to make this transformation a reality. So the program is structured in a way that we give tools that really benefit, and the tools is not only I say Keto Mojo, or the actual devices, the technology, the content that we share on a weekly basis, the coaching that we do, the one-to-one face meetings, but it's the overall, let's say, approach of having a holistic approach to health, um, which allows you at your own pace, and that's really important, to create your personal experiences and your own uh, journey, and see how really this fits your lifestyle. Because again, what is really the game changer is if you can really make this a lifestyle choice. So not a diet, not a anything short term, but really something that you believe, you have experienced, and you want to follow for the rest of your life to the extent it actually benefits you most. And always be aware, have self awareness, and adjust. So this is, I think, the really the personal bet I have with everyone I coach, really to give you all the tools that you need to make this a success. Uh, Another little thing I would like to say is that I don't really believe into specific meal plans. We do provide meal plans and challenges around that as well. But everyone, I think it's not a sustainable method that someone gets a piece of paper, goes through the ingredients, and just follows a recipe. Maybe that's for a short term, for a specific week or objective, but on the long term, you need to cook foods that you enjoy, that make you feel good, and that you really yeah want to cook, and that can sustain you. So I hope really, or I believe really, that this is a really different approach to how many of our fellow teams in the health and wellness space, because their um, how to say it, that it is very I think important for us to build that trust with you, to get to know you, and to really um, walk that journey with you. We don't want to give you just advice and you're off and you come back maybe after 2 3 months and we review your results. I think that's not really so beneficial. It can help, but I think really the what we stand behind is walking the journey with you. Okay, so and as a conclusion for this little chat for today, and for anyone who enjoyed and heard and liked what he or she heard today, then I would like to offer a 25% of our usual monthly rate. So our programs or our program or our subscription is on a monthly basis. You can cancel it whenever you want. But in any case, if you want to start, then for the duration of June. So if you sign up for basically the next month, then you will get 25% off the regular price. We have two different packages. You can check them on our website. I'll put also this in the show notes, and you can have a look. And I hope you'll make the most out of this. And of course, uh, a little giveaway, which I'm super excited about, is that for all the people that will subscribe for this particular offer, the 25% off, they will have the opportunity to win one free ticket to the Health Optimization Summit. So, KetoNtrack will participate in one of the biggest events in the world, in my opinion, um, and not only, I would say, which is the Health Optimization Summit, which have been moved due to all the corona issues that we have been facing to 18th and 19th of September in London, in a great venue. We will be exhibiting there. We will have our own booth. I'm very excited that we're part of such a great event. And I would like that you also take the opportunity to join us and not only meet in person, but also be part of this great health and wellness community. So If you subscribe, then in June, then at the end of June, so we'll probably have another live, and at that point we will announce who has won the ticket. And this comes with no commitment. So as long as you're subscribed and you follow the program, then and you win, then the ticket is yours. So that's all. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's stay in touch, and let's share the message of health and wellness. And I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.